Welcome to my channel, the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Asterisk, the deep corridors of Outpost 9 hummed with a constant metallic vibration, the kind that made the air feel alive, even when nothing moved. The whole base was buried under the rocky crust of a forgotten moon, where no sunlight ever touched and no visitor ever came. It was a place where secrets were kept, not shared, and where prisoners were stored, not saved. Yet on this silent night, the young technician Rian found himself walking alone toward the lowest sector of the prison, Sector Epsilon, where the most dangerous being the humans had ever captured was kept in chains. His footsteps rang like small echoes in a giant empty cave, and the air grew colder the deeper he went. He wasn't supposed to be here. He wasn't even on duty, but something inside him kept pulling him toward Cell 42, the one place every guard avoided. People whispered that the creature inside was a monster, a beast, a cosmic weapon in the shape of a woman. But Rian had never seen her, only heard the stories. As he approached the final door, he noticed frost forming on the edges, as if something inside sucked all the warmth from the air. When he opened the door, even the metal handle stung his fingers like frozen steel. The cell slid open slowly, and darkness spilled out like smoke. At first, he didn't see anything. Then he saw her eyes, two silver lights glowing faintly in the shadows, watching him with a tired, hungry silence. As the emergency lights flickered, he saw her fully for the first time. The alien Giantess, nearly 3 times his height, chained at her wrists, ankles, and neck with thick metal restraints that dug into her violet skin. Her long metallic blue hair lay over her shoulders like a broken curtain, and her powerful body, once feared by everyone, looked weak, trembling, starved. The bowl on the floor was dry, dusty, untouched for days. Her voice came out thin and cracked as she lifted her head slowly. "Human, why return?" she whispered, her words full of exhaustion, not anger. Rian swallowed hard as he stepped inside, feeling the weight of the cold air cling to his clothes. He had only come to inspect malfunctioning sensors, but now he felt something pulling at his heart. She wasn't a monster. She was dying. He reached down, touching the empty bowl, and his stomach twisted in anger. She had been starved on purpose. No food, no water, just chains and fear. Rian turned and left. He didn't think, he just moved. He ran to the supply room, grabbed a ration pack, and rushed back to her cell. When he returned, she tried to reach for the food, but the electric collar hummed threateningly and shocked her with a violent spark. She winced but didn't cry out. Rian stepped closer, closer than any human had ever dared, and held the food to her lips. She hesitated, her huge glowing eyes filled with confusion and something like fear. Then slowly she took the food, bite by bite, soft, careful bites, like someone who had forgotten how to eat. Rian felt his breath catch as she leaned toward him, and he noticed her hands trembling not in anger, but because she was weak. When she finished the last bite, her enormous hand lifted and wrapped around his wrist. Her skin was cold, her touch heavy but gentle. "Why?" she whispered again, voice filled with pain. "Why give life when your kind takes it?" Rian tried to speak, but no words came out. He didn't know why he cared. Maybe because she looked more imprisoned than dangerous. Maybe because someone had to show her kindness. Maybe because she looked lonely. "Because nobody deserves to starve," he finally said. Her eyes softened in a way he did not expect. For a moment, it felt like the world around them stopped. No hum of machines, no alarms, no fear. Just her holding on to his wrist, like he was the last warm thing in a freezing world. But the moment shattered when alarms suddenly exploded down the hall. Red lights burst to life, and heavy footsteps pounded toward the cell block. The guards had detected the unlocked door. Rian's eyes widened. "Please, stay still, they'll shoot you," he whispered urgently, but the giantess pushed herself up, chains scraping loudly. She leaned forward slightly, placing her massive body between him and the door, as if trying to protect him. Guards burst in, shouting, weapons glowing. Rian stepped in front of her, yelling that she hadn't attacked, that he fed her, that she did nothing wrong, but the guards didn't listen. One fired. The stun bolt hit her in the chest. She choked, dropped to one knee, and the collar activated, sending a surge of electricity ripping through her body. She screamed, not with rage, but with pain so raw it made Rian stumble backward. She fell forward, reaching toward him weakly, silver eyes dimming. "Do not leave me," she gasped as guards dragged Rian away. That night, Rian lay awake, haunted by her voice. He had caused this. She had tried to protect him, and he had failed to protect her. The guilt pressed on his chest until he couldn't breathe. By morning, he made his decision. He went back. He sneaked through maintenance tunnels until he reached the lower block again. When he opened her cell, the sight almost broke him. She lay on the floor, breathing shallowly, chains tighter than before. Her collar blinked with angry red lights. But when she sensed him, her eyes opened and warmth flickered again. "You returned," she whispered. "I had to," Rian said. "You shouldn't be alone." She studied him in silence, her huge eyes full of something strange, something tender. "Then I will not let you go," she said softly. Rian didn't know what she meant, but her words felt heavy, like a promise. Before he could respond, the entire outpost shook violently. A deep siren wailed. This one wasn't a simple security alert. This was a breach warning. Something else in the prison had broken loose. The lights flickered, then died completely. Darkness fell. The giantess's chains loosened with a loud crack. The power outage had weakened them. Slowly she rose to her, full height, towering over Rian like a shadow given life. But instead of hurting him, she bent down and cupped him gently with one large hand, lifting him safely to his feet. "Human, do not fear," she murmured. "You saved me. Now I save you." She turned, ripping the remaining pieces of the door free, and stepping into the nearly pitch-black hallway. The ground shook again. Metal screamed. Explosions echoed above them. Rian clung to her massive shoulder as she shielded him from falling. Debris, her movements strong and graceful, despite her days of starvation. Every step she took felt like defiance against her captors. Every breath she drew felt like freedom reclaiming itself. When they reached the blast door leading outside, she dragged her chains against the metal until sparks flew and the door bent open. For the first time in years, she stepped into open air. The crimson sky stretched endlessly, painting her violet skin with shades of fire. She looked down at Rian, her hair blowing like a shimmering blue river behind her. "You fed me," she said, voice almost like a vow. "You showed mercy, and I will never release you." Rian felt a shiver crawl down his spine. Not fear, something deeper. She wasn't threatening him. She was claiming him, protecting him, binding him to her with a loyalty that felt ancient. He didn't know what he had started with that one act of kindness, but as she carried him across the red horizon, away from the collapsing prison, he knew one thing with complete certainty. She was free because of him. And now she would never let him walk alone again. If you enjoyed this emotional HFY sci-fi tale, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.